Multiplying fractions is completely different from adding and subtracting fractions. And you can remember maybe from the rules for multiplying that they're very different. So let's see why this works. To start off with, you need to be able to think of 1/2 times 1/4 as 1/2 of 1/4. And always mentally think that way. So when I'm looking to draw 1/2 of 1/4, I need to focus first on drawing the 1/4. This time I only need 1 unit to show the multiplication. So for addition, I use 3 units to illustrate that. For subtraction, I use 2 units. I model both of the fractions and then I cross off some on the first unit. For multiplication, I only use 1 unit because I'm finding one fractional part of another fractional part. So I will start by drawing a 4x2 unit. And again, I chose a 4x2 because my denominators are 4 and 2. And you'll have to remember or think about this statement here. Unlike addition and subtraction, the 1/2 in multiplication does not mean 1/2 of the entire unit. It means 1/2 of the 1/4. So we're still kind of in reference to this big unit, but let's get 1/2 of the 1/4 to start with. So I'm going to break this into fourths and I'm going to model 1/4. That's the first thing I do is model the 1/4. It's this right here. Now I'm going to focus just on the 1/4 and I want to model half of the 1/4. To model half of the 1/4, I divide it in half. That's 2 parts. And then I just need to model part of this. Now, 1/2 of it. I would put a rod on top of it. That would be just the 1 square centimeter rod. And that would be my 1/2 of my 1/4. I'm going to show that with an X because I don't actually have the rods here. I'll show that with an X. That's 1/2 of the 1/4. Now in relation to the entire unit, that is 1/8 of the unit. So here's the method you would look. You would look at the sketching of 1/4 and you sketch over the 1/2 of the 1/4. Looking at that X in relation to the whole unit, it's 1/8 of it. Therefore, 1/2 of 1/4 or 1/2 times 1/4 is 1/8. The 8 comes from multiplying the 2 units, 2 columns, and 4 rows is how we get the 8. And the 1 comes from multiplying the 1/2 and the 1/4, and we just get the 1.